T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Are you ready? All right, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? I am ready. Let's have a great night here live in the cheap seats. Let's all have a good time, have a little fun, a little bit of chaos. The first way we like to start all this out the whole time, every time now, is the thing is. All right, happy Easter, miscreants. Here is the deal. I'm excited about this season, and I want to talk to you about it. This year is lined up to be something unbelievably special. Now, knock on wood, that stays that way, okay? Because, look, going into last year, there were holes that needed to be filled. Listen, it wasn't too long ago, a little over a year ago, the question was about Jameis. Is Jameis coming back? Is he not coming back? Since then, all of a sudden, you've got Brady now filling the quarterback position. You've got Gronk. You've got, for Leonard Fournette. Okay, then, you happen to add AB later. The funny thing about it is, you also then drafted Tristan Wirfs. You filled all of the holes. All of the holes are pretty much filled, guys. Everything is pretty much set up ideally right now. And now we get the draft on top of all of that. So the thing is, this season potentially could be really special. Could be really spectacular. Could be one for the ages. But I'm the kind of person who's always like, yeah. I tend to hold back a little bit on getting overly excited. I try to predict a little lower than my emotions want me to be because, my emotions right now, if I look forward and I look at what this team is, look, man, teams go 15-1, 14-2 all the time. Look at this team. What's the potential? Guys, this can be an amazing freaking year. An unreal freaking year. This is set up for all of it. And as Bucs fans, let's enjoy every stinking minute of it. All right, so the thing is, holy cow, this year is set up to be something special. Absolutely special. All right, miscreants, say hello in the chat room. I want to say hi. I want to see who's here. Hey, Misador. Hey, Travis. Mike DeRoche, who will be on here in just a minute. We've got Chung Gonzalez. Eric Harnett. We've got some great folks in here. Christopher Cole, as always. Love you, brother. And so let's have a good time bringing it here I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We got some of the usual antics, and we've got it'll be a little different. We've got a different kind of version of revealing Canada tonight, and it's Sunday night, so there's always going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to take off Mike DeRoche. You never know. Yeah, I hope not, but we always have a good time with this, and that's what this is all about. So I'm looking forward to tonight, and let's have a good time. And the way to do that, first of all, let's bring in a couple of miscreants. Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm dying to know what your shirt says, though. It's just hidden.
We'll get there. We will get there. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. I love that Johnny finally came on camera. That's beautiful.
I am beautiful. See that?
That is a beautiful dog, and his eyebrows look like they touch like Peter's.
Right?
He kind of has Peter Blake eyebrows. I mean,
Watch
but
it.
Listen, guys, I'm excited. This season, I think, is set up to be something special, and the more I think about it, the more excited I get about it. It to me, it's something that's, I don't know, how have you ever seen a team this prepared going into the year? And oh, by the way, now we get to add the draft. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, am I nuts?
It's like the 80s again with the free agency. Biggest bank buys the best team, payroll, and we got away with it without having to go and do anything really upside down, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. This whole thing is insane. This whole thing makes no sense how everything could just come together this perfectly. I mean, they had a lot of cap room, really, overall. They really had a lot of cap room, relatively, going into this year at the perfect time. And let's bring in Mike DeRoche. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey, ready for tonight?
Let's do it.
All right. Mike's like, oh, crap. I'll make it through.
Easy, Mike, steady.
Steady boy. Breathe. Simmer down, Sparky.
I got it.
You know, Rick,
Yeah.
the more we talk about how lucky we got, the more nervous I get. I'm just trying.
I feel like you do, Johnny. You and I are similar with our we both have a little pessimistic streak in us.
Yeah, I expect. Well, anytime you have a luck streak going, it ends sooner or later, and I don't want.
Well, you would think that's the case. You would think that's the case, but how long did the Bucs have bad luck? I mean, there's a karma debt. There's a karma debt for years heading their way. So
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Seriously, what I'm hoping for. I want to see this team be a dynasty eventually.
Well, from time to time, rarely in professional sports, everything lines up and you end up with an epic team. That could be what we're watching. And holy crap, it's our team.
Is any franchise perfect?
No, is any franchise perfect?
No.
I mean, the Dolphins were perfect one year,
Oh, yeah.
but nobody since then.
With a second quarterback, no less.
Right.
The main guy was on the bench.
Right. So, I mean, when you look at this year, you look at it and you go, man, the planets, it just feels like the planets are aligning. And, that's always scary. To get your hopes up is always scary. If you've lived any kind of life like mine, and if you're a Bucs fan for any length of time, getting your hopes up, it's like, uh-oh. Whenever everything goes well.
We have to guard ourselves from being Kansas City last year. We can't go around right out of the box talking about going for two, run it back, and all that.
Oh, I don't agree. You've got to say you're going for two. You have to say that.
There's a way to say we're in it to win.
No, you got to say we're going for two. I don't have any problem with them saying they're going for two. I would have a problem with this saying we got this. But
I think that's what Kansas City did last year. They thought it was a 16-game preseason, and they just had a little bit of
that's the difference with Tom Brady. That's the difference between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, and that's why before last year I said everybody stop drawing the comparison and calling him Baby Goat. That's why I said then, you're way early on that because, I mean, Tom Brady raises the level of a franchise. Can Patrick Mahomes do the same thing? I mean, let's be honest. Andy Reid won Super Bowl.
Out of how many?
Pat Mahomes won Super Bowl. Okay, there's no reason to just crown them victorious for years and say, oh, he's going to be challenging Brady's 7 Super Bowls. Really? It's way early on that.
So
So,
pouring dirt on me before that happens, I believe.
what's that?
So they'll be pouring dirt on me before that happens, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely. They'll be pouring
Imagine
dirt
what's
on me
gonna
before
happen
that's
when
going to
we
happen.
come out and we fall flat on first week. We go 0-1 right out of the box.
We did
This
it last
will-
year, though.
I know, but this whole fan base is going to go absolutely nuts.
Let them, and they'll jump right back on.
Yeah,
the last
exactly.
game of the year.
Exactly. And by the way, that'll give us great fodder for one of my favorite segments. We're not
There's an
doing
old
it tonight.
saying: you don't win the Super Bowl in the first week.
Right.
Well, that's
Right.
true.
And you guys remember, it's funny. I talked about this with some people today. Think about this. Do you guys remember the first drive of Game 1 last year?
Yep.
No.
Do you remember what happened? The first pass, first of all, beautiful pass to Chris Godwin from Brady, and it looked easy. And then they drove straight down the field. And, yeah. Brady had a quarterback sneak, right?
Right.
So, and scored. And then they barely scored the rest of the game. Okay?
When he scored
We're
that
not all choked up about it, Rick.
he made a cakewalk this year.
Well, yeah, and I did. I thought it was going to be cakewalk, and what did he do? He
He
threw
lost.
he threw 2 picks that game too. And after that game, I was thinking, "Oh crap!"
Here we go.
You know what? I kind of want that to take the pressure of the season and everybody talking about undefeated season off our chest.
You know what? I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but here's the deal: if a team's gonna go undefeated, you can't think like that. And some team, sometime, some way, someday is gonna go undefeated. And really, dead seriously, why not this team?
I'm with that
I
as
would
far
like to
as
see it
okay,
happen.
Brady needs to add that to his resume, but really, that's a stressful season. Can you remember the Bears? Remember the Bears, and every week it was like
Yeah, the
And then they get
Patriots.
Mike
Miami.
Singletary out there
The
and crush
Patriots.
everybody.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Patriots.
What, Matt?
The Bears in 85, was it? Every
Yeah,
time
they
they
ran
had
into
on
Miami.
Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning.
Yeah, they ran into Miami on a Monday night, a crappy Miami team on Monday night and lost.
Yeah.
85 Super Bowl, 84 season. Yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl. And here's the thing: if they go after that undefeated season and they fall a game or two short, okay. But guess what? The Bears did that year.
Is that really important to go undefeated? Is that really
No. It's a cool thing no one's done, and you're exactly right, Mike. You're exactly right. It's the kind of thing where you look at it and you go, okay, so we almost made it to undefeated, but we lost a game near the end of the year, and then we went on and won the Super Bowl. Woohoo! I mean,
in an expanded year with 17 games. So
yeah.
That
So
would be a
hardest
big deal.
one
It would be a
to take.
huge deal.
oh my God, if they pulled it off, it's unreal. It's just unreal. Now, it's probably not going to happen. Everybody take a deep breath. Don't set that as your expectation, okay? Set that as a
please don't.
pipe dream, right? Set that as a pipe dream. Or actually, if you do, you're going to say a lot of stupid stuff on the internet, and you're going to really keep me busy, so that would be okay. But the thing is, it's probably not going to happen, okay? The chances of it happening are very slim. But guess what? If you told me 13 months ago that the Bucs were going to win the Super Bowl, the chances were really freaking slim, okay?
Yeah.
Well, what a story though it'll be.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a great story unless we end up like Carolina did and go to the last game and lose it and have our quarterback flopping on the ground like an 8-year-old.
David Moser just brought up something very interesting. We
What's
won
that?
both our Super Bowls after being swept by the Saints. Now, if we win the Super
Hold on.
Bowl,
What is this? Hold on. Well, if you Go by your history. That means Jameis Winston. He's the starting quarterback for the Saints. They have to beat us twice for us to win the Super Bowl. Nice. Nice. Listen, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare, brother. That's a failure of a season. I don't care if they win the Super Bowl. If you lose twice to Jameis, it's going to taste awful.
Oh,
You know that our secondary is going to be licking their chops when we have to play.
Absolutely.
20 grand,
Like,
pop.
be
20
Federal
grand,
Lions.
pop. Got another
Oh
one.
yeah, you don't think this secondary remembers that trick play that they pulled and Jameis had that guy wide
Oh
open?
yeah, and you don't think this secondary remembers Jameis eating the W's and dancing in the locker room in Tampa?
Absolutely.
You don't think they remember all of that? I guarantee you they remember all of that. And and think about this, guys. If they did what they did to Patrick Mahomes. Now, what are they going to do to Jameis, and what are his decisions going to be when he's running around backwards?
We're going to shred him.
Yeah, when he's running backwards and throwing the ball, oh, my God.
Meesador, man, don't even speak that out loud, dude.
What's that? Bring it up. If you got something like that, but just bring it up, Johnny.
16-0-1. What if the Bucs go 16-0-1, still undefeated, but don't break any records? That's very Buck.
That's funny. That's funny. That would be funny. That would be funny if the Bucs went 16-0-1. Still undefeated, but don't break any records. That is, yeah, ouch.
Good God, you could find all kinds of stupid stuff. Bucs fans
Ouch.
say that
Yeah.
week.
Eric Hardnett says what what is 19, 118, and 2? What is that?
No clue.
19, 118, and 2.
19,
Eric, what are you talking
Well,
about?
he's projecting a record.
19, 118, and 2?
No, 19-1 or 18-2.
Oh, got it. Thank you. I'm going.
Okay,
Is
yeah,
that?
what the hell?
Yeah, I was trying to. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the interpretation. I'm not real smart. But I don't know, guys. I am pumped up about this year. I'm getting more excited. Okay, it's that, that lull in the off season. I've kind of now I've come down from the Super Bowl, and I had that little lull where it's that break where you start to you have that just downtime where you're not feeling up or down. You're just there. And now I'm starting to look forward, really genuinely starting to look forward because the draft is coming up and I'm starting to get excited about the draft. For me, some people get excited about the draft earlier. I'm just starting. Okay, I'm just starting to go, okay, now.
I'm coming down from the draft now.
It hasn't happened, Johnny.
It's happened for me. I mean, I've already been in this mock draft crap for, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, but
I was on the show when I said
you know what the
something about
first
draft
word of that
and
is,
got
right?
in.
Yeah, you remember what the first word of that is there. It's mock draft.
Right.
And so don't mind if I
That's
do.
the most appropriate word there is.
Yeah,
There is
so-
nobody. There is
right.
nobody out there who has a blue book to predictions because
Right.
you don't know what any team has on their
Right.
board.
So it's called a mock draft, so don't mind if I do. I mean, I was cracking up the other day. I got a notification on my phone that interrupted me at work, and I looked down at it, and it said, it was a message from the Buccaneers saying, notification, we've just come out with mock draft 6.0. And I'm like,
Well, a mock draft isn't meant to be taken seriously as far as where each player is going to fall. It's meant to introduce people who might not pay attention, Rick, to these players beforehand.
but I'm not reading. Why would I pay attention to 1.0 when I know there's going to be a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0,
Because you get
7.0?
introduced to various players.
Just introduce me to the players.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I mean,
I'm only
it's to me.
interested 3 days before the event.
And Matt, I am far more like you about that, where I'll do a crash course 3 days beforehand and really get to know the players and figure out what's going on and learn what's going on, and that's when I do it. But all of this, I mean, and everybody gets their people, the internet gets in this weird thing where they fall in love with a player.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anybody in the actual league is falling in love with the player, but they act like the league's falling in love with the player. Mac Jones. Okay.
Oh,
That was last night.
Everybody's got this thing like now it's Mac Jones.
Days.
Oh my God, Mac Jones. And you're not hearing it from anybody in the league, but you hear it online. Well, I'm hearing from my sources. And you know who your sources are? You got a friend named Billy who works at a gas station in Alabama who talked to somebody who knows the representative, the brother of the representative for Mac Jones, and he told you, or he told them, and 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 they finally told you that he interviewed with the 49ers. Oh my God, he's going to the 49ers.
Must be.
I mean, it's come on. Nobody freaking knows. The teams put out fake information. They put out, they send out misdirection. They're sending, everybody, this is what drives me nuts about mock drafts. Now, some people love them, and that's awesome. Enjoy them. That is great. And I don't think you shouldn't enjoy them, and I'm not making fun of you for enjoying them, but I'm telling you that for me and the way my brain works, I look at that and go, I'm not going to study this because they're going to update it next week and completely outdate everything I would learn in mock draft 1.0. So, if in 4 days there's going to be a 2.0 and I'm supposed to forget 1.0, well, why would I pay attention to 2.0 when I know 4 days later, and then 4 days later, and then 4 days later? Yep. So I just wait, and at the final mock drafts, I'll pay a little bit of attention to.
Mel Kiper makes a living off of changing his mind. He
Mel
comes on
Kiper makes a
Friday
living off
before
of being wrong about everything that he says.
But so do all of these people.
Not his percentage. Mel Kiper's gotten in arguments with coaches, for Christ's sakes. How idiotic do you have to be to argue with a coach when you're just a talking hairdo sitting on the sideline?
That's not an idiot. That's a very smart talking hairdo, because you're talking about him right now, so he did exactly what he needs to do. That's a brilliant talking hairdo.
I might talk about him now, but I haven't watched him in years.
But the point is that he comes on Friday before the draft, and he comes out with his top 32, and that's godlike. And then the first call comes out, and it's not who he said. So he changes his mind from the second point on. And then about 3 picks later, somebody does a trade, and he's consistently switching like the sands in the Sahara.
And that's how it goes, and that's the fun part of it. That's the beauty of it.
What makes me mad is I could do that kind of thing and get paid a lot less, and they get out better.
You don't have his hair. You couldn't do that because
drafts you get Siciliano. Oh, not Siciliano, but what the hell is his name? NFL Network. You get a couple of people that are actually getting information out of the team. Then you can lock down pretty much the first 5 picks, and you can get like 60% on the second 5 picks in the top 10. After that, it's a crapshoot, okay? Because somebody is going to go off the board or has given Daniel Jeremiah misinformation and
put a bong in his face.
Yeah, there you go. And then there's going to be a whirlpool. I started doing this crap back when Aqib Talib was drafted, and the Bucs world went crazy. They went, "Who is this guy?" Blah 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 blah. And there's talking about this guy can't play the position. And as far as playing the position, yeah, but I was putting out stuff about his background so they understand that Aqib Talib is a very chancy pick.
He did pretty well for himself, though, Johnny.
Yes, but he did very well for himself in taxis.
He did a whole lot of. Who was it? No, it wasn't me that shot at my sister's boyfriend. It was my mother. He threw his mother under the bus.
Hey, whatever it takes, baby. Whatever it takes.
I think when what's his name was saying that you need to have a fall guy when
it was Minnesota receiver. What's his name?
Vikings.
Carter.
When Chris Carter said you need to have a fall guy, he didn't mean your mama.
Well, he's such a high standard individual that he invented a show on Fox Sports Network and got fired from it. His show. So, and both times he got fired from ESPN and on Fox Sports, it was because of his mouth. Something he said. So I just look at him and I say, don't do it, Chris. And that's the way it is.
Yeah. Guys, there's such it's so important, I think, that people, have fun with this stuff, and I'm bringing it up for a reason. Is there are times, and I get it, why Bucs fans have gone through the difficulties, but when you're in a time like now, just go ahead and have fun with it, man. Go ahead. You want to do mock draft 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 because that's fun for you? Then do it. That's awesome. That's great. And that's why I'm not making fun really of the drafts, because you know what? You know a lot more about those players than I do if you're doing those drafts and you actually know, but I really think some people are just like copying each other and picking crap like I do in fantasy football. You know, just like, oh, okay, him. I mean, that's how I think it works. But I think people do that with fantasy. I don't think listen, man, 99% of the people coming out with mock drafts don't know what let's say the Detroit Lions linebacking core looks like. Okay, so what they're doing is they find somebody from Detroit, somebody down the line somewhere, went around and took experts from everything and created a fake mock draft, and everybody's been picking from their mock drafts since and just messing around and playing since then, because seriously, it's like the weather guy. Do you honestly believe that the weather guy at your local television network sends up satellites and figures this crap out?
He doesn't?
No.
He made a movie about it called Twister.
Okay. He didn't send the satellites up, man. Okay? The thing is, somebody else, Noah, sends up the satellites, spits out all the information, and you got a local, as somebody said, talking hairdo, sits down, looks at it, and says, okay.
The talking hairdo does not do that. That's for the meteorologist on site to do. Then he hands off the paperwork to the talking hairdo.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, because sometimes that is a meteorologist.
No,
so
Leaf was a meteorologist.
Right.
So the head of
a lot of places have meteorologists on their television staff, but those are TV personalities. Make no mistake, they're TV personalities before they're meteorologists. And people, it's like, I always laugh when they do that. It's like, well, we've got Doppler 97,000 XQ now. Like it makes any difference to me. Just tell me, is it going to rain tomorrow? What's the temperature going to be? Beyond that, do I need to like be concerned about anything? If not, thanks. I mean, that's really all I need to know. But
I don't know about that. The people that are doing that with their mock drafts, because I've never ever done anything like that. It was not fun to break down all that stuff. Looking at tape is fun.
Of course it is fun for you, Johnny. Of course it's fun, or you wouldn't do it.
Did this you might not believe this, but I love to inform people of things. I don't give a crap about any kind of fame. I care about informing people because it wasn't available when I first got out.
Well, it's obvious you don't care about fame. You're on my show.
Every night. Every night.
With that being said, if you all like mock drafts, North Sports Dynasty's got a bunch of them.
Oh, brother.
No, did you? I don't know if you heard what I said about it earlier. I said
I only popped in right now.
Okay, no, my belief, my thing is this. I think that's great. If you enjoy it, have fun with it and do it. But I honestly don't think that. I mean, look, you guys are not at pro days who are creating the mock drafts. You're not at pro days. You're not in the war rooms with these different GMs, and you're not actually talking to the GMs. You're just doing your best as a guy sitting there picking things off that other people, picking, okay, this guy said this, you're picking things out, from different places on the internet, getting your sources. I'll tell you who's different about it. Let me give somebody some credit. You want to know who I would listen to? Joshua Cole Allen, for doggone it, because he is plugged into the players. He is talking to the players that are going to be drafted. He is, plugged into those folks. So I look at him a little bit differently than I look at, when I flip on in Facebook and some, Johnny, Bucs a lot says, here's my mock draft 7.9. I mean, it's like, what? I mean, okay, I get it. Listen, I work in a store. That's my day job. All day long I work in the store. And you know what I do when I come home? I usually get ready to do something with Bucs Report. That's pretty much what I do immediately when I walk in the door. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that I'm involved in doing. Okay, so I'm immediately going from one thing to the other. You know what I'm not doing? breaking down college film, talking to general managers, and talking to drafted players or players who are about to be drafted. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, let me tell you who I think is going to be drafted at this position. I don't freaking know. And you know what? 90% of the people who create mock drafts don't know. All right? And it's fine. And it's fun, and it's a game like fantasy football, and there's nothing wrong with it, but just recognize that's what's going on when you're reading the mock drafts. And don't be like, I heard, this is how it works, I heard Mac Jones.
Statement.
What?
I have to make a correction to your statement. I've been to plenty of pro days. Pro days are at colleges, and until this year when the
Good for you, but you're not this year for this draft.
Listen, I'm not jumping your crap. Just pay attention. It's not time for Rich Rant yet. It's time for.
I don't even know when that's happening. That can.
Combine is where
I never know when that's happening.
Team owners and crap like that. No, I've never been to a combine. I can't afford to walk into a combine. But pro days, you specifically said pro days. Pro days are easy for anybody.
No, I'm saying to go to all of the pro days, to know.
Nobody's doing all the pro days. Nobody.
Somebody from every team does and gets the information.
These friggin' players. The people who are talking about all these pro days and stuff, and every player, they have a staff. And they
right. My point being, you don't have a staff.
Said, Johnny.
That's what I said.
Somebody from the team to the pro days. It could be Joe Smith from
Well, I was confused. I thought he was talking about the
weather.
weather.
He's going to go down to USF and watch a pro day.
No, I'm saying the bottom line is most of the people who are creating these drafts and acting like they know what they're talking about really don't know. And then you know what happens? Somebody reads, for instance, Johnny, somebody will read your mock draft and go, and then the next thing you know, they're at work tomorrow telling people, I heard so-and-so, this team's interested in so-and-so. Why? Because they heard you say it. And then
they read it from the guy in Canada. He got it right.
Right. But the thing is,
no, I didn't read it from nobody.
No, you didn't. You missed his point. The point you had to read it from somebody because you're not freaking there.
No,
okay.
I watch tape and break it down on my own. Oh yeah, there is technology nowadays. I don't have to go to every pro day.
I understand that.
Tape on their games. That's where you get your information. I don't give a crap about somebody in his underwear jumping up and down.
You're not able to spend the kind of time that the entire Buccaneers staff does, or the entire ESPN staff.
Retired. The only time I'm not on football is when I'm on the show. Or
you still don't have time. Like the entire ESPN college staff that's breaking down this stuff. You still don't have the kind of time that these people do that make them the actual, these are the people. And it's not your fault. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your draft and you're taking it personal, and you shouldn't be, because great. I said earlier, you want to do it? That's great. You break down as best you can. You do the best you can. You come up with the best information you can, given the information you have access to. That's awesome. Good for you. Okay, but when I say it, and I'm going to say it again, Johnny, and you can take it personally, but when I say 90%, I didn't say Johnny, I said 90% of the people out there creating these mock drafts are just going to other mock drafts and ripping them off, or going to other sites and ripping off the information. Fine, you're an exception. That's great. I said 90%. Okay, you're defending yourself as though I said you. Why?
Well, I'm defending the people who create quality mock drafts. That's not, everybody doesn't make garbage mock drafts. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time and effort putting these things together. It's not just.
I said that, and I said 90%, didn't I? If you go on there, you're going to see some dude who's just like me. Maybe he's working in a gas station all day long. He comes home and he sits down and he types up a mock draft. That's all over the internet, Johnny. 90% of the mock drafts out there aren't from you, aren't from Andrew, aren't from Joshua Cole Allen, who knows what, he's in deep, okay? There's a difference, and it's not discrediting anybody look, it's like I talked to a guy one time who played basketball, who played whatever the NBA, I don't know what the heck the video game is, okay? And he was dead serious, and he looked at me and he argued with me about how he could play in the NBA because of how realistic this video game is. Okay? And the thing is, come on, man. All right? Now, all I'm trying to say is 90% of the people on the internet, 90% of the people on the internet, not you, fine, not Andrew, fine. Okay? But what I'm telling you flat out is, for most guys who are watching this show, they're seeing, they go online all day long and see mock draft 1.0, 2.0 from this guy. Your news feed is filled with mock drafts. And I'm saying 90% of them, they're Joe Schmo who works at a gas station who came home and ripped the stuff off of something else and tried to put stuff together and is just having fun, or he wants to look like an expert. Okay? That's the fact. Okay? I'm not saying you. All right? And, I mean, it's... Listen, will I listen to you guys? I get my information from you and from Andrew and from Joshua and folks like you. That's where I get my information. But for me to sit here and tell people to watch out, to understand 90% of the crap online is just crap online, sorry, it's fact.
It's true on all the venues.
Well, we're agreeing on the same thing as far as mock drafts go. I was just disputing the amount of time and energy involved in a mock draft, because it sounded like you were saying that you just come up here and copy somebody's paperwork and throw it down there.
I am saying 90% of the people do that. I am saying it. I don't know how to be more clear, Johnny. I am saying 90% of the people who create mock drafts do exactly that.
There's literally people on the internet who will pay like the $20 monthly subscription for PFF and just copy paste and be like, this is, move 2 things or 3 things around and be like, this is literally the best mock draft.
Right. That's exactly my point.
It's all clicks. That's all it is, and that's the world we're in right now.
And
it
then
doesn't matter what topic.
Right. It doesn't. And
somebody's coming up with something to get you to click on it. And
right.
And it's full crap. 90% of the time is a low number, in my opinion.
Right, and then you have somebody. Well, right, and then you have you do have people who are in the know, who do spend their time breaking it down, who are actually knowledgeable and all that. And I think I said very clearly earlier, I don't present myself as an expert because I'm not one, and I don't do that. And I'll crash course on the draft 3 days beforehand. I agree with all of that. That's what I'll do. But until then, I'm not going to be sitting here putting out mock drafts that I stole from Andrew and Johnny, combined the two, and then said, look what I did. Okay? I'm not going to do it.
And even the mock drafts that I do, like, for example, like, my show is based off of 2 major platforms, obviously mock drafts and Dynasty, right? And the mock drafts that I do, I mean, people call me big boy for a reason, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't read, obviously, other people's mock drafts, and you obviously see what other people are thinking, right? Like, I mean,
right.
At the beginning of the year, just based off of talent and just stuff that me and, say Johnny, for example, have talked about. If we just talk about quarterback talent and what we think would be good for the systems and stuff like that, Trey Lance should be going number 1 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they all of a sudden should just call it a day, right?
Right.
But that's obviously not what's going to happen, right? So you got to say follow suit. But to Vic's point and stuff like that, right? Yeah, it is for more fun, right? Joshua Cole-Allen is at that level that people like me and the show try to get to, whereas, we can be in these Zoom call meetings, obviously during the COVID right now. So we can be in these Zoom call meetings talking to these players and stuff like that. I mean, the guy messaged me and said he was talking to Chuba, which is a guy that grew up 30 minutes from where I'm currently living right now. He had no reason that he had to do that whatsoever. That's just because Josh is an amazing guy. Now, for him to get that information and stuff like that, he had to be in those Zoom call meetings. Did I see that information? Yeah, 3 hours later on Twitter, right? It's people, for example, again, like Josh, where we at the bottom here, like the little peons in the villages and stuff like that, we try to get to and we try to achieve to and stuff like that. Because again, even Josh is at a level where he's looking at, maybe like Trevor and some of these other guys who work at PFF who are like, hey, I would like to be there. And even those guys are looking at the assistant GMs who are in the
Andrew, you thank God you're saying it, because this is what I believe every stinking day. Okay, if you don't wake up, let me go back to me as a photographer. Okay, I was a very successful photographer for a very long time. Every day, I woke up and said, "How am I going to get better? How am I going to get better?" And I would push. I would push myself to learn something new or do something different. That's how you get better. And that's how, let me tell you something. And I told a photographer this one time. He was a mentor of mine. And he had been shooting for years, and he was cocky, and he had earned being a little bit cocky. And I said to him, don't let me catch up to you. Because if I pass you, you're not catching me. because I'm not going to stop pushing forward. And he had stopped pushing forward. And that's what I did with this guy. He had this great studio in this great dark room, and he had all this great stuff. And I remember thinking, someday, man, someday. And it seemed so far away. And then the jobs I ended up doing and the things I ended up doing and the clients I ended up working with were so far past where he ever was. But at that time, he was so far in front of me. And guess what? He then was coming to me. But there was a time when he was basically saying flat out, you're not going to catch up to me, man. It's hard to get where I'm at. And the thing is this, where Josh was at, you think that happened easy? I can tell you it didn't happen easy. Okay, do you think with any of these people it happens easy? It doesn't happen easy. You have to keep pushing. You have to drive. You have to just keep pushing even when you don't want to. And that's why Andrew will be successful and is successful like he is, and why I would listen to his information. That's why I listen to information from Johnny. That's why I listen definitely to things from Joshua, because Joshua can come in and go, yeah, man, I was talking to so-and-so today, and it's a dude who's going to be drafted middle of the first round, and it's like, wait, what? You know, I mean, these are things that are important that's, you know, I one of my very first things I said on my very, very, very first show is I'm not an expert. I'm actually one of you guys. I'm a miscreant. Okay? I am one of you. I am not knowledgeable like Andrew. I am not knowledgeable like Johnny Dean. I am not knowledgeable like like Joshua. I am not knowledgeable like Peter Blake. Okay, that's not what I do. Okay, but I know I've got these people that I can glean information from, get information from, and I try to bring you an entertaining show. That's what I do. Okay, and I'm not.
Well,
thank you. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to sit here and present myself as being, you know, I'm an expert in this, and I'm this, or I'm that. I don't need that. I don't need it. You know what? I want to have a good time. I want to have a good time with you guys. The whole reason this show is called Cheap Seats, for those who don't know this story, is I used to stand on the sidelines at Tampa Stadium with camera gear all over me, in the heat, sweating on the sidelines, shooting for Pro Football Weekly. And I remember how I was just exhausted. Why did I do this job? Because I wanted to get on the field. Wow, that sounded like fun. To be on the field at a Bucs game and to get into the locker room and to be in that environment, it was something I worked hard for. And I got there. And that was awesome. It was fun. It was a good time for a little bit. And then a year into it, I remember just being like, holy crap, I'm exhausted. And the way it worked at the time, you shot film. And a brick of film had, I believe, 16 rolls of film in it. And I would be kneeling on the sidelines, shooting. I'd finish the roll. I'd put it in the bag next to me. I'd open one of the fresh rolls, stick it in the camera, and the brick of film is sitting next to me. The bag for the exposed film is sitting next to me. And as I kept putting the rolls in there and pulling a new one out, and somebody in the Buccaneers organization, their job, literally, I never wondered whether I had film. I never ran out of film. I never had to do anything with that film. As I put it in the bag and I put a fresh one in there, after I had a couple of rolls done, I'd look down. I never even saw the person. The film I shot was gone. The brick of film was replenished. I had, a whole bunch of new film, and I just kept working. One day, I'm standing on the sidelines, and I'm looking down. I can remember this so clearly. I'm standing on what I guess would be the I don't know which end. I don't know whether it was north or south. I can never remember which end, which end's which. But I'm standing on the end zone that would be furthest from the new stadium. Is the new stadium south of where the old one was? Does anybody know?
I'm directionally challenged.
Okay. Anyway, I think it's south. I was on the north, I think, end zone on the Buccaneers sideline, and it was the fourth quarter, and I realized I didn't even know what the score was. And I looked down. Now, this was a preseason game. It had rained, and rained hard. And matter of fact, it was starting late. It was It was starting like early evening. It was supposed to start earlier, but lightning had hit the stadium or had hit the area and knocked power out. It was brutally humid. It had rained. It stopped raining. We're out there. The sun is baking. All that moisture is coming up.
Is this
I'm
in
standing.
the Trop, or was it?
What's that?
Was this at the Trop or in Ray
No.
J?
No. This is at Ray. This is at before Ray J. At the big sombrero.
Okay.
Yeah, and I looked down, and I took I remember clear as day, my Canon camera strap. It says the word Canon. I looked down, and I remember wringing it, and sweat pouring out of it and running down onto the ground. And I looked up and said,
Why?
what am I doing? I'd rather be up in the cheap seats.
145-degree temperatures down there.
That is why I named this show The Cheap Seats. Is for that moment, I thought in my head, I had a better time when I was 12 years old, and my mom bought me season tickets in the upper corner of the end zone at the Big Sombrero, and sitting in those games, having a great time watching the games, and now I'm sitting here drenched in sweat, don't know the score, miserable. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'd rather be in the cheap seats. And that's why we have this show. So the thing is this. I'm not an expert. I am not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I want to rely on you guys. I need you guys. And that's why you guys are important to me. But what I am very good at is processing the information from you guys and knowing what to do with it, and maybe trying to throw a show together that's a little bit of fun, And that's really kind of it. That's really my whole story with this. Is I'm just want to have a good time, and I mean I'm here with Bucs fans, and we're laughing and we're joking and we're busting on each other, and we're just we're it's a bunch of guys sitting in the cheap seats. And that's what that was the whole design of this show.
I'll tell you what, my seat is very cheap, Rick. Very cheap where I'm at. Yeah. I bet you can't afford it.
Oklahoma? Well, I'm in Carolina, so it's
you're probably paying 3 times more than I am.
What's that, Johnny?
He said Oklahoma, and I automatically started singing the song.
Oh.
Yeah. They do that I may have told you this, but they play that Broadway.
5 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, 5 o'clock drive time.
Yep.
Oh my God. You want to never go on the road at that time.
Yeah. So anyway, that to me is why I want to be here. And that's why I'm glad you guys are here. When I say at the end of the show, at the end of the show, I don't know if you guys hang around long enough to hear it, but at the end of the show, I read off a lot of the names that have been in the chat. And, and I talk about how important you guys are. I mean it, because you guys are why I'm here, because this to me is a whole lot more fun. And to be honest with you, I moved to freaking Charlotte. I don't know anybody here other than the people I work with, and I don't want to hang out with them.
See them all day.
Okay? So you guys are kind of you're my social outlet on top of all of it. And I mean, all you guys in chat, even when I don't make reference to what you're talking about, I'm reading it and I'm listening to it, and it's a part of my day.
Are we family, Rick?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are family.
Yes, you're family. You're absolutely family. I mean,
Johnny's got all his sisters.
Oh,
I missed that. What'd you say, Matt?
He said, I don't know what Matt said. Mike said he feels like crying.
Yeah. No, I said you were singing the We Got Family song, and the next line is I got all my sisters and me.
Yeah. Here's my sisters. And speaking of, here's Stephen Glasgow. He's black and he's super straight. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Rick? How you guys doing?
Good.
He was a little standoffish today, Rick. He pulled back from the camera.
Yeah.
What's the matter, man? We have garlic for dinner or something? What's the deal?
How you doing tonight, Stephen?
Doing great. And just so you know, Rick, I do listen to your close to the shows, and you're absolutely correct. We appreciate you just as much as you appreciate us. being a part of the show. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are important to me. I mean, that's a fact. You guys are important to. Who did I just lose?
Oklahoma. Johnny, sorry.
Okay, Johnny. All right.
The dog got out, Rick. The dog got out.
Yeah. Hurry up, talk about him. Hurry up, talk about him. Now's the time. We lost both of the you notice how Andrew and Johnny are gone. They have to go do mock draft 12.0.
But going to get personal about that. You won't talk to him for days.
I know. We all know how that goes. But I don't know. It's just let's. I count on you guys to and your information and all of that stuff, and I count on the good time that we have here. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm a miscreant. I'm not like above the miscreants, guiding the miscreants. I'm freaking one of you guys. Somebody's got to press the buttons, but
you know what you are, Rick?
What?
You're good luck to the Buccaneers, though. You started this show, and we signed Tom Brady.
Yeah.
We signed everybody.
Do you know my first day? My first day actually was cut day. That was actually when I came on board, was cut day. So it was later than Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady was already there. My first day actually coming online was cut day.
Well, you were here for the big party.
Yes, I was. Let me see. The guy who took Matt out. That's Johnny the Dean, the professor, is back. And he is the guy who beat Matt. That sounds like you took him on a date, Johnny.
He was a cheap date, man.
Yeah, the guy who took Matt out. Wow. You might not want to tell people that. Hold on. Let me do this.
I even got him a shirt.
Hold on. Let me get a screen capture. Okay, there we go.
That's going to be on later this week.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys want to have some fun?
Please.
Okay. Let's keep up, Mike. Simmer, breathe, brother. Here we go. First of all, tonight you gotta bring your A game.
Boy, Ricky.
Okay, bring your A game. All right, everybody. All right, good. Just in time to bring your A game. Here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. Now, let me say this: we've talked all about how Canada has some amazing facts and beautiful places, and we've talked about they've got a 99% literacy rate. I don't know, like some crazy number of lakes, like over 1 million lakes. I think 13,700 big lakes, whatever that means. And crazy fresh water and just all these wonderful things about Canada. We talked about some wonderful cities, some of the best cities I've ever been to, Calgary, I guess you say it. And
they also have breathable air.
They have breathable air. I've been to Banff, which is unbelievable. And also I love Toronto. We also talked about head smashed in Buffalo jump.
Buffalo.
Okay, we also
I love that.
Cannot forget.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Perfect.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful, all right.
Yeah, the only thing.
I can't understand the concept.
And then we talked about Dildo Canada, and I will forever absolutely love this picture for Captain Dildo. Okay, so we talked about those two. So where do we go today? Well, we're going to do some things different. And right now,
Yes.
right now, you know what's happening is Mike is looking at this. Mike's looking at this screen and going, "Oh crap! Look at all that blank space."
It must be an older town.
Okay, so Mike's going, "Oh my God! Look at how much blank space there is." So we'll see if Mike's our friend. Yeah, we'll see if Mike's our friend by the end of the night. But here we go. Balls fall. Let me say this about balls fall. Balls fall. This woman, I mean, she could use a little. But let me say this about the place. Tell me that's not unbelievably gorgeous.
Is that Photoshop?
No.
No, that's actually
That is Balls Fall.
I know, I'm just making a little
Yeah,
joke.
that is Balls Fall. But we're going to do something different tonight. We're not just going to hang around Balls Fall. Okay?
I thought it was Balls Falls.
Instead, we're going to keep it moving, guys. First thing now, we're going to talk about other places.
Yay.
Happy Adventure, Newfoundland.
happy time.
Okay? I'm not Happy Adventure, Newfoundland. Okay?
Sandy's Cove.
Now this is this really is Happy Adventure. Look at that. That's a happy adventure.
Beautiful, man.
That's a happy adventure. I could have a happy adventure in Happy Adventure.
No money.
Who's the
No
shrimp?
way.
I feel
Okay.
something else is gonna happen.
So next, we have Punky Doodle's Corner, which, by the way, I got to say, I spelled it wrong, but no one cares that I spelled it wrong. Not even the 3 people who live in Punky Doodle's Corner, because they're too freaking cold trying to get warm. Okay? They don't even care.
Christ, that looks like Pennsylvania, dude.
Punky Doodle's Corner. They don't even know. Look, man, it's...
Oh my god.
You know what that is?
And I want you guys to know something. Everything that I am showing you comes from literally from the city itself.
That episode that they got the landmark on.
Yeah.
I wrote a book about it, or I read a book about it when I was a kid. My dad gave it to me, and a car got picked up by a UFO, and they claimed they had been abducted, and they didn't live in a double wide in Oklahoma, Johnny.
No, they lived in Punky Doodles. They lived in Punky Doodles.
Man.
But now we also have
Crazy.
Vulcan, Canada. And if you're going to be in Vulcan, Canada, dang it, embrace it.
Dun, dun.
Okay? Embrace it. This is Vulcan.
Second to honors.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy here.
This is Vulcan, Canada. And listen, how much? That's the tourist center in Vulcan, Canada. And how much do they embrace it? They literally lit it up at night as a landing pad in case any UFOs ever come.
That is so cool.
Wow.
All right.
Does that say CCP on the side of that? Go back to that.
Now listen. Next up, Swastika, Canada. And let me tell you what I know about Swastika, Canada. I'm a white male, so I'm moving on. This is okay. This is Spread Eagle Bay, Newfoundland. And all I can tell you is this: when you go to Google pictures of Spread Eagle Bay, be very careful and very precise, because okay. But okay, yeah, I couldn't find anything. I literally couldn't find anything for Spread Eagle Bay.
Wait! Look at that stop sign a minute. Go back to that. Why is there a point between the 2 5s?
That's a bolt.
It's just
Okay.
a bolt.
And I want to know why it said 55. Why was it in miles? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's an
They
interesting
couldn't
question.
figure out metric in that little bitty town.
Okay.
That's 55 kilometers.
Yeah. So next.
The sun was made in Oklahoma.
So next. You ready?
Yeah.
Stoner.
Stoner.
Now I know where Andrew really lives.
British Columbia. So all I can tell you is the only pictures I could find for this
No.
was this and this.
Is that
These-
Andrew.
Oh,
Those were the only 2 pictures I could find for Stoner, Canada. I don't know. I did a search and that's what came up.
Was that the mayor? Mayor.
Yes, that is the mayor.
It was at one point.
Number 10, Eyebrow, Saskatchewan.
God.
Eyebrow, Saskatchewan.
No
they got a
way.
feed mill.
Yes, Eyebrow. And that's the highlight. That is literally on the town website. Okay?
Okay. I've driven past there too.
Okay. Honorable mention, Witless Bay.
And that's me. I should live
Okay.
there.
And
The home of
I
the
love
Lord
this one.
Pumpkin.
And I love this one. I love this. The only way to say this is it has to be French. So it's got to be Saint Louis du Haha. But I imagine because they're French, it's Saint Louis du Haha. I mean, that's the way you got to say it. Saint Louis du Haha.
Let him say it.
What?
Andrew speaks French. Let him say it.
Saint Louis du Haha?
Yeah, see, I was close.
Hey, Louis.
Saint Louis du Haha. That's how you say it.
Only municipality with 2
So,
exclamation points.
yes. And this is what I love it. This is what I love about it. This is why. This is why you need to go. Because It's the spot in Quebec is the only municipality in the world with 2 exclamation points in its name. That's why you need to go. Now, for Mike, are you all ready? Here's what I want to say. What Mike doesn't realize over the last couple of weeks when he's gotten angry with us and left and, not come back for a while and everything.
I just love Mike's hat tonight.
What you don't realize is the entire time, Mike, we have had plans. Mike, we have had plans for what's starting next week. And you know what's starting next week, guys?
Going topless.
You know what's starting next week? Let me play this one more time. Because next week, we hit the road and drive south and begin revealing the United States.
Oh, boy.
Oh, brother.
And all of the silliness and craziness and beauty and splendor and fabulous stuff and weird and quirky and crazy stuff that is the United States. So, Mike, if you made it this far, brother, guess what's coming next? Now it's your turn. It's you and Andrew get to make fun of us for the next few weeks because that's what's coming up. And the whole time you were mad, the whole time you were getting upset with us, brother, this has been planned. So just hop on board and understand we're all paying the price, all of us. So anyway, welcome.
When do we get to Mexico? Is that going to be like 50 days away?
You never know what's coming, brother. Matt, you never know what's coming. You never know what's coming down the road. Who knows, right?
Right.
So anyway, guys, thanks for our little journey through Canada. Mike, it's over. It's over, brother.
You can have a hoot now and settle down, Mike.
Mike's going, oh dear God, thank you, but I might still wear Canada shirts because I want to, and if I pop on here with an I Love Dildo shirt, well, that just might happen one day, but you never know. What?
Can you buy those shirts?
Yes, you can buy those shirts.
The dildo shirt?
The city sells them. City sells them.
I love dildo.
You're mad. Yes, you're mad about me literally presenting what the city itself sells. So, listen, it's all in good fun. Next, we're going to be revealing the United States, revealing America.
You could do a whole show in Pennsylvania.
Mama, get my gun.
What'd you say, Matt?
Mama, get my gun.
What'd you say, Andrew?
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Raw.
It's going to be fun. I wouldn't make fun of any Marines if I were you, brother.
Yeah,
I don't think you want to do that.
It's hoorah, right?
No,
yeah.
It's ooh-rah.
Right.
There's no H? No H.
Right. No H.
You see Misador said? The last comment?
Yep. So what's that?
Misador, read his last comment on the last one.
South Park.
Misador says, blame California. It's not even a country. I could blame Canada. It's not even a country anyway. South Park, yeah.
That's such a great
You jumped on Matt yesterday for saying the California.
I know. But no, it was dot. It was dots. Yeah. But anyway, guys, it's gonna be fun. Let's have a good time. And Christopher Cole is absolutely on point when he says do Polk County because
there's so much.
Polk County makes it really, really easy. It does. Polk County makes it really.
They have a water leak place going on out there, I think, with radioactive waste.
Yeah.
Ready to dump into the sea.
Yes.
Oh, they started using radiation in order to make their meth now?
Yeah.
No.
It's. What do you mean start?
Radioactivity is a byproduct of a fertilizer factory there.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel when you want to put in weed and feed in your front yard?
Yeah. Or how about that food you're eating? And yeah, sure, no problem. But
Is Stephen Glasgow still around? I see his picture there, but I haven't heard a word out of him.
Steven's just silently sitting here.
He muted just so
He muted it now.
Hello, Stephen. Are you there?
Steven? Going once?
Earth to Stephen.
Glasgow.
Steven?
He fell asleep.
Going twice?
Or he's heading to Canada right now.
Okay. Steven, I offended Steven and now Steven left. We'll fill his spot with Eric Moreno. Never mind, he doesn't even have a picture on right now. There we go. There we go. Hey, Eric.
What's going on, guys?
Eric, we can't see you, brother. Get some light. I mean,
He's sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
Jesus, Rick.
There we go. There you go. Much better. Now, awesome. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How about you?
Awesome. Welcome.
On,
Welcome.
Howdy.
Hey. So, guys, back to what we were talking about earlier, and the the fact that the draft is coming, and this is a crazy good team already, and now the draft is coming. I mean, do you guys, is there ever, talk to me about NFL history, somebody. Talk to me about NFL history. Is there any team that you can imagine that's been this good, that's going into the year?
No.
The 49ers back in the 80s.
Did they resign, basically all their game one starters? And maybe.
1979, right?
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
Like 94.
There has not been a repeat Super Bowl winner, and this will be 17 years. If the Bucs do it, it will have been 17 years. Steven, are you back?
Hey, how you guys doing? Sorry about that.
Good.
I am, of course, driving in, and I drove to a
I
place.
told you he was heading to Canada.
Listen, no, he's lying. Listen, everybody, he lives in his car, okay? You know how Mike never leaves that room? Steven lives in his car, okay?
No, that's mean.
Practically true. But I was just about the places, Rick, and I just want to let Mike know. Mike, do you understand? In the U.S., we are really good at making fun of each other. Not just our country, but our state. We make fun of each other all the time. It's just what we do. There's a place in California, in fact, there's a nuclear power plant, I promise you, that looks like giant boobs. It is awesome.
Give me time.
Don't give it away, Steven.
Steven, that's the stuff you email me, brother.
Johnny.
Yeah.
You've never seen
What's going on? Go Bucs, right?
What's up?
You've never seen the San Antonio power plant. It looks like
Not much, man.
Dolly Parton posed.
Send it to me, brother, and then we do a show about it.
And what's funny that night, this is the fact. Night is two red lights at the top of it.
I think you're missing the whole idea of we'll do a show about it later.
What's going on, man?
I'll keep it. You know, Rick, you're right. You guys got to see it.
We've got so much stuff about America that we could could pick a state and just go for like months. We could just go for months. There are so many crazy things. There's so many funny and wacky and silly things that we do in this country. I think I showed you guys at one point the picture I took of myself when I went to the gun range.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about America. This is gonna be easy. Okay, this is candy from a baby kind of easy stuff. All right, when it comes to picking on America, it's America. America is yeah. This is gonna be fun. I did miss one picture that I wanted to show you. And it's small, and that was the problem, is that it was as small as it is. But I do want to bring it in here, and this is I'm uploading it. When we were talking about, hold on here. All right, come on, upload. And I actually think StreamYard's going. No, that's not even big enough to upload.
It's not big enough, Rick.
That happens. It happens at my age, man. What do you want? It happens at my age.
Leading statement.
Technology.
Yeah, well.
Why is it always our fault? Why isn't maybe the other issue being that the attraction is not there?
What do you mean our fault?
Because we're finding man. If their attraction ain't there, it's not alive.
Mike, that you?
What is the saying? What is it? 98 ways to attract your man, and what is it that what was that thing? Just show up. That's.
Yeah.
The guy who took Matt out. Oh my god.
Yeah, you missed the game show last night. It's nothing to do with the date. It's about a game show. It had nothing to do with the date.
Did you guys see that
Could
commercial for ED medication where the tagline is, if you can't get up for the occasion, your money comes back or something like that?
All of it, or just the medication?
Yeah, do I keep it?
Yeah. If you're paying for it, wait a minute. Wait, what?
Yeah. I got a question.
This is going to be the non-segue question of the night. Yes.
Do you think the Bucs are going to stay at 32?
Oh, thank you, Eric. You took the label off of me.
Yeah, Eric has now taken the lack of a segue from Johnny. That should be the challenge one night. Everybody just start talking about stuff, like completely change the subject randomly. So there's no flow to the show, and I have no idea what's going on. Y'all could really mess with me if you did that. You know that? Like just the whole night you just started completely like not being, not going with the flow of the show. What do I think they're going to stay with that pick? Probably. I mean, it's possibly. I have no idea. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Don't know. I hope they trade out. Yeah, I hope they trade out of the spot. But, I mean, I only hope that if they don't think there's, something good. By the way, remember how, with Canada, I was talking about Punky Doodle's Corner?
Yeah.
Understand this, okay, when you go to their, like where they're promoting Punky Doodle's Corner, this is one of the pictures.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's great, man. That looks
Well, of course, the Oklahoma guy goes, it's a big city. But, I mean, it's...
Oh, wait a minute. There's a high-rise right behind the place.
No, that's a grain silo.
Wow. That's a high-rise.
That is a high-rise. It's an Oklahoma high-rise. But...
It's a selling attraction.
Yes. So, what do you guys think? Go one at a time. Let's answer Eric's question. Are they going to stay at 32? Matt?
Nah, they go down to second round.
Okay.
Take a trade.
Easy, Sparky.
They'll keep it. They'll keep the pick.
They'll keep the pick.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you think?
I think we're gonna stay at 32, but if they get an offer they like, they're gonna pounce on it.
Okay, Andrew.
Depends on what player's there. If they don't have the player they want, then they'll trade.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is there.
Oh my God!
Kyle Trask.
He's Brady-esque. He's Brady-esque.
Yeah, you don't want Kyle Trask. He's Brady-esque.
So by the way, guys, I'm not doing this tonight, but let me introduce you to something new. Okay. Thanks to last night, guys. There's something brand new that will be a part of all of my shows.
Oh, great.
At any moment, it could happen. Okay. At any moment, the show could be interrupted by this. And when it comes back, I will be full screen and going off on whatever one of you idiots just said. Okay. So that's going to be there ready at any moment. At any moment that can happen.
Steven Glasgow, what's up?
Do I get to answer the question?
Yes, Johnny?
I would be totally happy if they traded completely out of this draft and stocked up.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. If they could yeah, sure. New England, I think that it wants, but I think I think that the thing that they ought to do is maybe pick up a lineman or two if the value is there. Yeah, I don't care either side.
From Alabama.
I would love to see a blockbuster trade.
I'm gonna be honest. This draft is it's secondary at best. There's not a single player coming out in this draft that could start with the Bucs right now.
Right. Well, I'm not going to say not a single player because I'm going to say Najee Harris maybe could, but it just doesn't have to happen. And what you can do is
Corner from Alabama.
wait and get a player later. like next year when look, need is going to happen. Okay, yep. Something's going to happen with some players. Somebody's not going to want to resign. Blah blah blah. You don't know. You're going to have an area of need come up again at some point. Wouldn't it be nice to have more draft picks at that point?
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking.
In a stronger draft where we've actually seen multiple years out of each person,
Should I do this every time he comes in? Steven Glasker's back. He's black and super straight. If he keeps hopping in and out, I'm going to keep doing that.
We're driving into dead zone, Steven.
That's funny.
And he's out.
See, Johnny, to your point, though, I mean, there is a couple of players at the top of the draft that obviously would not be falling to number 32, that if they were there, the Bucs would not to say obviously stupid that they wouldn't take them, but the Bucs would take them and then figure out what to do later on, kind of like with the whole.
I'm betting an offensive lineman. I'm betting there's an offensive lineman there that they can take that would probably start.
See, they're going to get depends. That's why I
who are they going? Wait, you got to think about who are they going to replace on the team? I don't see any. Panay needs development.
If for some flippin' miracle, if Panay was there at 32, I think they would put Panay more at the guard at Kappa's position and kind of push Kappa to.
Right, you're talking about pushes right at the moment. That job's Stinney's,
and that's Stinney's in there for 9.75.
You're talking about taking Panay and putting him as a third string, and you're drafting him that high and paying that much money on the first round draft.
It's Steven Glasker. It's Steven Glasker. He's black and he's super straight.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna do it every time, brother. Every time.
It goes back. It goes back to the point I made before when that one guy got a little angry on Peter's show about my AB talk. If we're just doing hypotheticals and stuff like that, right?
That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just doing hypotheticals. I would take Panay Sewell, say, over Kappa and Stinney at that position if we were to force him at guard, for example.
There's not going to be a person at 32 that's worth guaranteeing a fifth year that you couldn't pick up in the second round if you got a trade.
That's where I'm at, Matt.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's exactly how I feel, Matt.
I would take Slater in the first round as a first pick in the second round, and I'd take him over Panay any day.
Now, there's something we haven't talked about. There's something we haven't talked about. Trading up.
Never.
No.
They did it last year.
They did it last year because something fell into place, right? Tristan Wirfs was. Look what nobody talked about Tristan Wirfs all year because he's that good.
Right.
Well, the video did help him.
And went home at the end of the day, and nobody knew anything about him. But the dude stood his ground against all kinds of competition.
I actually had Becton over Tristan Wirfs, but Tristan was my second pick. But nobody saw what Wirfs outperformed every offensive lineman in the draft last year.
Yeah.
Wirfs had that video where he was coming out of that pool. That was his big selling point.
I got a question for you guys. Yeah, the jump out of the pool. I got a question for you guys.
Incredible.
I'm going to shift gears just a little bit here because I have a question for all of you, and I think it's kind of interesting. Let's do one more look back at last year. And I want to do this. I want to go through, and I'm going to start with you, Matt. And I want you to tell me when you think of highlights. Well, I'll start off so that you know what I'm talking about. Okay. My favorite moments from last season.
Oh God.
Okay. My favorite moments. I'm not sure what just upset Mike. Easy, Sparky.
No, I'm okay. Just chill.
Okay. My favorite moments from last year are. To me, okay, I love the moment when Tom Brady told the when they won the NFC Championship game and somebody was crying. Brady said, "What are you crying for? We're not done."
Yep.
I love that moment, right? I love there are certain moments throughout the season. There are moments, and Matt, you and I think it was you and I. It might have been you and me, Mike, but I think it was Matt. Had a conversation at the halftime of the Atlanta game when they were down 17-0, and they came back and won that game. And I said at halftime, we both said at halftime, whichever one of you that it was, said at halftime, everything changed. They're going to come back and win. Something happened. Something just happened. And I wish for the life of me, I don't want to go back and watch that game because I don't know what I saw that made me say it. But that's a very fun moment for me.
You
Beating
can feel the Atlanta mojo or whatever.
Yeah.
Switching out.
Yeah, the air out of the balloon or whatever it was. Yeah. And when they ran off the field, you felt some kind of weird confidence from the Bucs or something.
Yeah, they were on their way to getting it done.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was coming up if they could carry it over into the second half.
Yeah.
You could tell they had something figured out. And
I think it was you and I that talked about that, Matt.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was at work and you and I were Facebook messengering back and forth, and we were like, something just happened. And it was a fact. And another thing for me, favorite moment was beating Green Bay the way that they beat Green Bay.
After the way Green Bay came out of the box.
Right. So those are kind of, when I look back and think of, my favorite moments, or when you think of beating Drew Brees, or when you think of Washington, what's his name, the rookie?
Heineke.
No.
Heineke.
Well, Heineke, but getting when the other guy whose name I can't remember.
From Washington?
Yes. The rookie. The rookie. Chase Young. When Chase Young, when we want Brady. Yeah, we want Brady. I want Brady. Yeah, I want Tom. I mean, those are the moments that, to me, those are my favorite moments of the season. Matt, let's start with you, brother. What were your favorite moments of last season?
The one thing I took away, and I still see it vividly, is the Lenny Fournette run where he got stopped off at the top.
Oh yeah, that's a good
rolled
one.
out to the edge.
Yeah,
and
stepped over everybody.
Somebody had Mike Allstott's highlights on yesterday and the day before in a reel, and Allstott was his own guy, but that Lenny Fournette run was as close to anything like that I can recall.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to the end zone, and you're not going to stop me.
Yeah,
and if we have that in the team going into this year from game one, with the tightness and the knit together fabric, we could go undefeated. I don't know that we will.
Right.
But we have the ability on the roster, with or without AB, to dominate, and it's because of that particular run and that one Tyler Johnson catch. I called it the Matrix catch. I think that's what you said, Rick.
Yep.
When they're putting that kind of stuff on the field, it was like watching Tim Tebow run through the playoffs. It was almost like it was destined to happen because everything went right.
Yeah.
And if we can keep things going right, I can dig it.
Yeah.
I just don't see another team that's got the strength that we have across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Johnny, what about you? Favorite moments
from last year? And
it can be more than one, but yeah.
It's my turning point from last year, and I know people will debate this all day long, but I don't care. It's the Chargers game, because in the Chargers game we were down by 17 points, and that was a good Chargers team. That was before their injuries, and Austin Eckler was playing, and everybody was still healthy with the Chargers. And that is a game that the Buccaneers of old would have lost. They would have lost that. They would have made a little fierce comeback, but they would have lost. And
because Jameis would have thrown an interception.
In that game was a big turning point for the Buccaneers. They got confidence that they could come back and win a game, and that was a battle because, believe it or not, the Chargers were not that bad of a team. Once the injury bug started hitting them, they were big time.
When they lost their running back,
Hey, before we move on, hold on. Before we move on, everybody who's watching the show, even if you normally don't comment, do me a favor. Type into your comments there on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Type into the comments, what were your favorite moment? What was your favorite moment of last season? I want to see what you guys are thinking. Even if you normally don't comment, even if you're normally not involved in that kind of thing, I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
I want to hear, with all of the regular miscreants, all of you who are out there silent and watching, I want to hear what were the favorite moments out there from you guys. Andrew, what were your favorite moments?
Well, when we first heard that Brady was actually becoming a Buck, that was
that is a good one.
That is definitely a big defining, because the rumors, and even me like going to work and everybody being like, hey, what did you think about Brady being a Buck? I'm like, not with the current jerseys we have. That would just look absolutely atrocious. No, thank you. I don't want that. And then I found it funny that when he got signed, we were on Peter's show, and I said, something's going to happen with these jerseys in like a week or two then, because there's no way. And then it was like, we knew instantly that the jerseys were changing. So
yeah. Remember when they sent out that video? That little video with the spray painting on the wall and the whole thing. Remember how that was so exciting at the time?
Yep.
They were going to bring back the creamsicle. They teased us. It wasn't right. They did that in that short.
Orange. They teased the orange because some people didn't think that the way the orange was going to look on like the away jerseys this year would be too good, but they blend very, very nicely.
Red and yellow and orange go together. They're in the.
What do you think of Arians backing up the creamsicle throwbacks, man? I love that, man. I love that he's behind that.
Look, I this may not be a popular sentiment. I love those. I've got such great memories of the creamsicle thing and all of that. But I'm glad they're not the permanent uniforms. But I would love to see them as throwbacks.
Absolutely, man. I could see them. Did you? There was one year, I think it was 17 or 16. When Pittsburgh wore them Bumblebee uniforms in almost every freaking game, man. That was awful, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I love the Pittsburgh Bumblebee uniforms.
They look like a jailhouse.
I love that. I know, and I love that. To me, it looks straight out of like I expect them. You know how when you see those and they look like they're running funny, and they, when you see old, that's what I expect from them. And I love that. Absolutely love that. Steven, what are your favorite moments from last year?
All my favorite moments actually involve the Super Bowl, but I will harken back to one moment you were mentioning, Rick, about they just seemed to figure it out, and that was the Atlanta game right after the bye. As I understand it, the narrative is when they went into halftime, Brady said to the team, "We're not losing any more effing games," and they came out at halftime and got it figured out.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's awesome because we didn't hear about it at the time, and we said, that's what was taking place at that moment, and I just think, they haven't lost since then, and I just get the feeling something felt different right at that point. I don't know how else to word it.
Leadership matters, and for me, the moments involving the Super Bowl, I love. In the Super Bowl, I love the deuces. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. The deuces.
Oh, that's a great one. That is a great one. That should have been mentioned. Absolutely.
What's up?
The deuces when he flashed that in the Super Bowl.
He flashed the deuces at Cheetah. He flashed the deuces.
Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. That may be the iconic moment of the season. I watched that highlight again, and the way he did it. It was also the way he did it. He didn't just flash him. It was, he was grinning, and he turned around, and he knelt down, and he very purposefully looked straight at him. Oh, yeah. He made sure there was eye contact, and then...
no mistaking what
right. It was beautiful.
And what people don't remember about the play right before that is Winfield was up against Cheetah, and when that ball got thrown up, Mahomes was throwing it to Hill. Winfield actually had a better play on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the game itself, that game itself has to be the best Buccaneers game. I think it's one of the best, if not the best game ever played by this team.
Mm-hmm.
As a whole,
unbelievable game. And my other favorite moment from the Super Bowl is after the Super Bowl when, and you get this in the not in the Super Bowl, but when you watch highlights and that sort of thing, and the moment where it was an awesome moment where Brock was talking to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans says, after the bowl, they won. They just won. He says, "I can't believe you guys came to Tampa Bay." And Mike and Gronk just said to him, "It's because of you, guy. We're here because of you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and that to me, I mean, that just that whole. You get the feeling. Let's say the Bucs win. Let's just have some fun with it. They win the Super Bowl this year. Maybe they even then it's like we're gonna try and three-peat. You go through all of that. All right. To me, I mean, as I look at this is like it's a family. This team has a different vibe about it, and it's a lot of fun. I remember with the first Super Bowl winning Bucs team, Super Bowl 37 team, there was a core that was a family, and there were other pieces that just kind of came and went. This whole team feels like a family to me. It's a whole different vibe and a whole different feeling, and I've got to put that 100% on Bruce Arians and the culture he brought.
Winning cures all.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. So, Stephen, that's a great one. That is absolutely a great one. What about you, Mike? What's favorite moment?
I've got a few, but it's all based on the NFC game. The last game.
Hold on, Stephen. Go ahead, Mike.
It's all based on the NFC title game this year. The Brady interview after the game, he had about 4 questions just for himself. He deflected for somebody else. He didn't want any more attention on himself.
Yeah.
I kind of admired him for that. Like,
Yeah.
Don't talk about me. It's all a team.
Yeah. He did that in the Super Bowl, too. He said, how about talking to somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
he's the man. Nobody's Brady-esque. Sorry, guys.
The Scotty Miller catch in the NFC game was one
right. The halftime catch. That's a great one. That just before halftime catches against New Orleans.
My last one is the final snap of the Super Bowl. We won it in our own home stadium.
Yeah, that's
my.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a crazy memory, man. Home sweet home. What were you saying, Stephen? Oh, and there he goes. Just as I was calling on him.
I still watch that NFC game on TV. I still watch it.
The NFC. Oh no, I would watch just about any game from this season in a heartbeat. I think without blinking, I would be happy to do it. I mean, it's. I would love to relive this. I heard. Now, did anybody buy the Super Bowl DVD?
No, I want to.
Mine's on its way.
Okay, I heard that they don't have the whole game on it.
No.
Really?
Right, and I know the last one. They had, not only did they have the whole game, but they had a wrap up of every game during the season. And I really hope they could do that. I mean, I would just, to me, somebody needs to come out with like a definitive overview of this last season, and don't just start with game one. I mean, the definitive start of the season should start when Jameis was, the debate over Jameis.
Yeah.
And go through literally everything step by step to the end. I think that would be an awesome video for a fan.
Is there an app or something that exists where you can literally go back and watch any NFL game from front to back from any year?
I think you can get that on the NFL.
Yeah, NFL.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's NFL All Access.
Yeah,
it is All Access.
I would suggest that to anybody that's trying to do anything, work on drafts and stuff.
Yeah, you know what would be fun to do is, I think what I'm going to start doing is going back maybe once a week.
I got a news break here.
What's the news break?
Rick Hughes, I owe you an apology.
Oh.
Hold on.
There you go.
Johnny Dean has just apologized to Rick Hughes.
Abbreviation for the esque, a title used only after the full name of a man or woman who is a lawyer. So
Esquire.
Oh, no, that's Esquire. That's totally different.
You're right. Nobody at all is Brady Esquire.
No, there's plenty of Brady Esquires. I'm sure there's plenty of lawyers named Brady. So, there's plenty of lawyers named Brady. So that's not true. Okay, he's back. He's Stephen Glasgow, and he's black, and he's super straight. Okay.
Brady-esque.
And he's not Brady-esque.
Brady-esque. No, that's right. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. I was going to say my last final favorite moment literally was when the Super Bowl had nothing to do with the game. It was after the game's over in the big banner that they have of Raymond James as Super Bowl champion. That is beautiful. That is absolutely.
Yeah, did they? I don't know. There's a part of me that almost says for a year they should have just left it untouched, just like the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. Just left all the graphics, left everything up there because fans didn't get to experience it.
Oh yeah.
And it would have been kind of a little tribute to say, you know what, guys, you didn't get to come last year. Let's have an extra party this year and make it again. Make this year extra.
That's a great.
I think that would have been fun. And but they're going to do marketing. You're going to have to put. Gee, do you think Brady will be on the outside of the stadium? I mean,
Maybe.
Who do you? The funny part of it is, it's almost like you need to put.
I have to be because Brad Johnson's. They got a statue of Brad Johnson, right?
No, I mean I'm talking the banners.
Well, still.
Yeah, and what are they going to do about that when you walk into One Buck Place that pewter. The statue? No. The statues that they have of the winning moment from the Super Bowl from Super Bowl 37 that they have that. What do you do now? I mean, especially if they win another one. What do you do?
How about 3?
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, we just knock out a wall and put in a room.
That's what they're literally gonna have to do that. I mean, that's what they're
swing around for a tornado to come through and it knocks.
That's literally what they're gonna have to do is just knock out a wall. And I mean, that's kind of fun, isn't it? To think. I mean, I was thinking the other day. Oh yeah, that trophy case in the lobby. Oops, it's not big enough. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna go get another one, and then what?
Well, didn't you hear Paul Glazer the other day? He was talking about improving the stadium.
No.
Oh, you didn't listen to his interview?
No.
Yeah, they were asking him about if he's going to build a new stadium and stuff, and he's talking about just making improvements to this one still.
They better leave.
What's wrong with it?
Until I
mean,
there.
it's an icon now. That pirate ship is known all over.
Stadium.
Every stadium's an icon. Dallas' stadium was an icon. There's lots of stadiums that were icons.
Hey.
Listen, if you go to a game in Tampa Stadium, let me tell this. It's freaking miserable. Okay, when you go down to that Pirates Cove end by the ship, there's no room to move around. It's jam packed with people. There's no space to move when you're trying to go get a Coke. You've got a long way to go. I'm telling you, man. Go to one game in Atlanta, and then you're gonna go. Then you go to Tampa's. You go to Raymond James, and you're like,
you're drunk on a pirate ship.
I agree.
Right?
I agree with Rick.
No, but bring the pirate ship somewhere else, man.
Pirate ship, man.
No,
Yeah, the pirate ship can go.
Yeah,
No.
I'm in agreement with Rick. Out here in Dallas, right? And I've been to Lambeau Field. It is amazing to go to Lambeau Field. It's historic. But they really update that stadium. It's so bad. And when you go to the Cowboy Stadium in Dallas, it is unbelievable. Exactly.
Yeah.
When you go to an updated stadium and then come back to a quote icon, you're really hoping they update the icon.
Yeah, the super stadium, the whole super stadium thing. I've been to the difference honestly from one stadium to another. When I had been from one stadium to another, it was like, yeah, okay, fine. So I went to the Georgia Dome when they built the Georgia Dome, and I was like, yeah, all right, it's nice. It is nice. It really is nice, but. I've never walked. No, I was talking Georgia Dome. Now, when I went into Megatron's butthole, from the moment I entered Megatron's butthole, it was the new stadium in Atlanta.
A pleasant experience.
It was. I enjoyed being in Megatron's butthole. It was. I got to tell you, man. From the time that I entered that stadium in Atlanta, I walked around and just said, "Oh, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. It's completely different. It's a completely." So is the Georgia Dome, man.
Okay.
So you can fit 2.5 Georgia Domes inside this stadium.
Mercedes?
When they built Mercedes, the Georgia Dome looked like the shed out back, is what a friend of mine said, and he was right. Okay? I mean, it is there's something until you've been in one of the super stadiums like Dallas, okay, like Atlanta, or I imagine like LA. Until you've been in one of them, I don't think you understand. I didn't.
No, that's fair.
Here's a good thought. Since the pirate ship is so instrumental in Bucs culture, let's build a stadium with a dome or a retractable roof, twice the size of Ray J, and shape it in the shape of a pirate ship.
No, Johnny, my God, that's Disney World crap.
Hey, I was trying to please you guys that have to have the pirate ship, man.
They tried that in Calgary with doing a saddle on their stadium, and now it's collapsing.
No, just build an incredible freaking dome, and what do you call it? And the dome retractable roof dome, some sort of a stadium that's retractable roof, and stick the pirate ship in the end zone, making an upgraded, bigger, better, badder pirate ship, and everybody's gonna go, oh yeah, that old stadium. I mean, that's how it'll be, because you'll still have the pirate ship. It'll still be iconic, and there are things you can do with that pirate ship that they should have done. Instead of just stick it. And if you remember, that was an afterthought. That was a last second. They just put that there. Okay, now plan on it. Yeah, plan on it and make the ship, put it in water. Do some things like that are over there. That,
They have a swimming pool at the Diamondback Stadium in Phoenix. They should put one of those in Tampa.
Yeah, $100 million to put 2 swimming pools in Jacksonville Stadium, and instead of renovating the stadium, rebuilding the stadium. That to me, that's insanity.
That's not what it didn't all go towards that.
Hey man,
that wasn't the top price either. I mean,
listen, when they upgraded Raymond James Stadium, it was a big upgrade, and the only thing that was an upgrade, the only thing really. Now, I know they say the sound is better. Okay, that's a big deal because the sound used to be horrible in Raymond James.
Wi-Fi supposed to be better.
Okay. I mean, to me, I mean, get Best Buy in there, call Geek Squad, they'll fix that in no time, okay? But the screens all around are phenomenal. Okay, they are fantastic. But the stadium itself, when you get to the stadium and you ride, you have to walk up those freaking ramps. Okay, those long ass freaking concrete ramps, or you take the thin little Raymond James super escalators that go forever, that are so long, and you're in this small, narrow little escalator, feeling like, it just feels weird. It feels like, is this thing safe? And I mean, and you walk into Atlanta Stadium, and when you're at ground level, you're midway up. Okay, so so when you walk in, you just walk down a little bit or you walk up a little bit, but you're right there. I mean, they to me, the experience of it in Atlanta, because it's the home of Coke. So those Coke machines everywhere, that those Coke machines with all the yes, Coca-Cola, Andrew. Sorry, I need to be more specific. The Coke machines that have when they're fountains, but you get any mixture of any drink you want.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what they're called. They have those things all over the stadium, and when you buy one drink, your refills are free.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's so many of them that there's no line. So when you want to get a refill, you just go get a refill and you're immediately back. And there's TVs everywhere for you to see it when you're on the concourse. The concourse isn't cramped when you're walking out of the stadium. And remember that, that feeling where there's this massive herd of people kind of all moving in one direction. It's not like that. There's space. And it looks beautiful because there's light coming through, and it's nice and it's cool, and it's just the entire experience is better.
I don't think that Tampa will get another Super Bowl at home until they do something drastic there.
Agreed.
Well, now they could have a Publix in the middle of the stadium, right? Put in a crab shop.
That would be iconic right there.
That would be funny. No, what they could do is add a retractable roof on top of this stadium, and then figure out a better way to access it. The stadium, instead of these freaking ramps. Find something better than these freaking ramps.
Same with Heinz Field and with Green Bay. I love the iconic stadiums, and Heinz Field's not iconic, but I guess it could be considered that way now. But But Green Bay, come on, man. You've got to be nuts. I love the cold, but to go to a game in Green Bay in the December,
I've done that.
Okay, look, I've been to Wrigley Field in Chicago. All right, very cool place, very awesome. You know, you've got the vines, you've got the whole thing, and you think, yeah, that's awesome. You can't. What are you gonna do? You can't do something. You can't build a new stadium, stick vines on it. And I mean, it's baseball. It can still be outdoors. That's fine. Do a retractable roof. Do whatever you want to do. But have the vines, have the brick wall, keep the general look, but play with it, modernize it. Come on, man. Sure, I get it. Listen, man, it's time. Sometimes things change. We're starting to sound like our grandparents. I hate this modern music. I mean, we're doing the same darn thing with can't have these modern stadiums. That's iconic. No, man. No. You're in America. This ain't Europe where you have buildings that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. We're in America. Okay? Everything's going to be new. So what are you going to wait until your freaking stadium is no longer earning the same kind of money that other teams are? No.
I've been to Ray J many times. I wish I could have been to the Big Sombrero one time. That's my only regret.
I used to go to the Sombrero when we sucked, and I'd
Lucky.
pay like $5 or $10.
Yeah. No, you're not, Mike.
Seats were horrible, man. Those seats were horrible.
Matt, the seats were metal. Okay.
Yes,
now
they were.
imagine no cover. They're just benches going all the way around the stage. Just a bench, like one giant, like rows of bench after bench after bench with no back. Okay. There's nothing to lean back up against.
I don't care.
And it's so hot that I swear to God, you could smell bacon from people's thighs. Okay. Because you're there.
Actual burn blisters from the.
Yeah. You would literally burn yourself to the point of having blisters on your legs.
The guy in Canada says he don't care.
Yeah. I don't care. Yeah.
45 degrees inside the bottom of that bowl, buddy.
Yeah.
I've been to Florida many times. I know the heat.
But sit on metal. That's different. It really is different when it's just baking. It's just brutal. And I get it. You want to get it for the memory.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I do understand that. I actually drove up. You want to know? You want to know one of my greatest Buccaneer regrets? Just before, my mom passed away in 2003, probably 2001. No. Wait, when did they build Ray J? 97.
2000. Was it 97? It might have been actually. Yeah.
Okay, when they built Raymond James, I drove my mom all the way over from Orlando, 90 miles. 96. Okay, so she could see the stadium. And they had not yet torn down the old stadium. Because, remember, she took me to the games and all that when I was little. So I drove her there. And, oh, man, the old stadium was there. And I pulled right up to the old stadium. And I got out of my car. And they were starting to tear it down, and I walked onto the field, and I grabbed some grass from the Big Sombrero, and for a long time I had grass at home, and it died. It wasn't, it was just this dead chunk of grass that didn't look like it meant anything, and I'd kill for that thing right now, for both the memory of that stadium and my mom. So yeah,
what did they do with Al Lopez Field?
That's where the stadium sits now. That's where Raymond James sits.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
They put in the Yankee Stadium across the street, right?
Yeah.
And they tore down Al Lopez?
Al Lopez was gone before then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. They used to have statues out in front of that. What did they do with those?
Yeah, I have no idea. I showed you guys the picture a long time ago of me with Pete Rose, and that was at Al Lopez. And you can see in the background, you can see the Big Sombrero in the back.
Yeah, they were side by side, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's fun, and you know what? I'll see if I can get that to you quick enough.
A great memory.
What?
It was a piece of the trough from the bathroom.
Those were the most god-awful bathrooms. As a child, it was traumatizing to go to the bathroom there.
You walk in there, and there's about 28 men in a row whizzing in the damn.
Yes, it was traumatizing as a child.
How good's your memory, guys?
What's that?
The year Cadillac Williams broke the record for the most yards in a game by a rookie in Green Bay.
Ooh.
Remember that game?
Yeah. Are you asking what year?
Yeah, I don't know. I was in the locker room when that game was over.
Oh, wow.
I was sitting beside him.
Wow, that's a cool story. How'd that happen?
My wife got me passes to go to Lambeau for a weekend, and I was a Bucs locker room assistant.
How'd that happen?
Jackie, my wife Jackie knows a guy in Winnipeg who worked for the Bucs back in the day. And
hey, she's a keeper. I'd keep her around, man.
I even got my locker room pass, my credentials still. I got my hotel room key from the Bucs.
You were supposed to turn that in, Mike.
Screw it.
It's people.
You still have it?
Up the price
Oh, yeah.
hotel.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't even. I wish I had kept like my credentials or things like that. I say that I have a couple of things, but I say that. But then every time I have something like that, it sits in a box and I never do anything with it.
Yeah,
sitting in the stall next to Cadillac, he's getting undressed, and there's ESPN surrounding his locker stall, and I'm beside him.
Another undressed locker room story.
Yeah. Well, that was weird though that they did that. That it used to be like that. It really was weird like that.
I mean,
what do they do now? Do they like make you stay out till they get clothes on? Because everything Al Keck used to say is that Warren Sapp would sit there naked and wait for.
Yeah, here's the thing with so much with quote unquote harassment and all this stuff going on now, they are a lot more careful. And let me say this, by the way, crap, I pulled up the wrong picture. It was Johnny Bench. Doggone it.
Johnny Bench has got a statue downtown here in the Brickyard.
Hey, Mike.
Yo.
So, question for you: since you're a fellow Canadian and stuff like that, how were you influenced into Tampa Bay? Only because I grew up not far from you.
Great.
And my influence was just basically through TV and just watching them as a young kid and loving the colors. But how were you influenced?
I was watching a Bucs game. I know. 77, 78, and they were playing Minnesota in Tampa. I didn't have a team then, and I just happened to like the color orange, and they were wearing their creamsicles that one day.
Yeah,
and I just chose them as my team because I didn't have a team, so I like the color orange. And
that was the glory days, man. When we were in the NFC with the Vikings and the Packers and the Bears. Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's the reason why Canadian fans, like when you talk about the Canadian teams of like Minnesota, Buffalo, Green Bay, Chicago, and all that kind of stuff, Tampa Bay is and always has been like the in the dark fans. Like we've always had a big fanship here in Canada.
That's weird. It's that way in Europe too.
Well,
yeah.
I love hearing these stories because if you grow up in Tampa or around Tampa area and stuff, you became a fan simply because, like Rick said, you became an instant fan when they announced it. Okay,
right?
You were so happy to not have to root for the Miami Dolphins as your team. You know.
Well, unfortunately, and one day I'll get my buddy Dave on here. But he and I used to get picked on madly by Dolphins fans in school because they all loved the Dolphins. They were the team to love in Orlando.
Well, in my neck of the woods, it's the Vikings, the Packers, the Bears, the Cowboys.
Right.
It's all the big ones and.
Right.
Over here is a little bit more Seattle as well added into it, basically what he said, and I'd say some Chiefs fans have popped out of the woodworks too, but yeah, it's basically those teams that we've kind of said for Canada, and that's about it. I have some fun things to show you guys here, just a couple of things. Number one, if I stop being an idiot and here we go. I'm trying to upload. Yeah, you'd think Rick's got this. Look in the background.
Yep.
That is the big sombrero in the background. It looked like a giant. My sister called it Pringle Stadium, and I think that was pretty accurate.
Look at that Hall of Famer right there.
And Rick.
Johnny Bench.
Yep. What'd you say?
The stadium when University of Tampa had a team, they didn't have north and south end zones.
Yeah, so it had already filled in. Yeah, it had already filled in at that point. Yeah, and this for anybody who ever did go to the Big Sombrero, this will remind you of something. You guys ready for a serious flashback? Johnny, you're about to have a major flashback.
Or stroke.
Tampa.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
I took those.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
I took those way back. I have a cassette tape that actually, for some reason, when I was a kid, I snuck a little mini tape recorder in my pocket into the stadium. I just recorded like 3 or 4 minutes of the sounds in the stadium from
That
back
was
then.
back when Function Junction was just a
Here's
dream.
my hotel key for,
Yeah.
for my room.
Or
You got where? Oh, that's cool.
Season.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pull that up. I can't see it.
Yeah, he can't pull it up. Oh, yeah, I'll make him full screen. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that's cool as shit.
Yeah, that is cool. That's just
Johnny
cool, right,
broke
Johnny? Yep.
Yes,
Johnny's the one. Johnny is the one. You know what I should start doing?
Lately, I had to.
I know. You know what I should start doing is whenever somebody slips, they're out for the night.
No, have a swear jar.
Have a swear jar. Yeah, like I can count on them. Like I can count on a miscreant to actually put the money in the swear jar.
I don't have a course on my laptop.
I call you guys miscreants for a reason. Okay. I'm one of you.
Bitcoin.
There you go. Yes. You got to pay in Bitcoin. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, guys, okay, I'm going to close this out for the night. We will be back on Tuesday. Here's the deal. There's going to be a change on Tuesday's shows. No, it's nothing bad, but especially what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, there's going to be a change on Tuesday shows. They're still going to be at 8:30, but they're going to be abbreviated shows. They're going to be shorter. I'm not going to tell you why, but there is a surprise coming down the line here, and it's something
Halle
that
Berry's gonna
work has to be done on Tuesday nights. So what I'm going to be doing is doing an abbreviated show on Tuesday nights. That'll probably just go till, let's say, 9:15 or so, maybe 10. I mean 9:30. Sorry, and we'll go from there. But there's some exciting stuff coming up, and especially, well, I'm just not going to say any more than that. But
Exciting and coming up usually works together.
but behind the scenes, there's been a lot of work done, guys. A lot of work done, and it's pretty exciting. So,
Rick, give me a full screen one last time.
okay, hold on.
Here's my credential.
Oh wow,
That's cool.
that is cool. That's weird looking. It looks like the center of a record.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
so
Wow,
I-
that's interesting. Mine were my credentials were on a lanyard stuck around my neck, drenched in sweat. That's probably why I didn't keep them. They were nasty by the time I was done.
I'll have this pass forever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. I do have some old Bucs gear, and at some point I'll take some pictures of it and show you stuff that I got from back in the day. But
Thanks, Rick.
all right, guys. All right, just for that, where do they find you?
Won his records.
Yep. Where do they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Andrew_FullBear, or you can find the show North Sports Dynasty every Saturday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, you can find North Sports Dynasty across every social media platform, ladies.
Still waiting for that article, Andrew.
Sorry.
And I listened. By the way, Johnny sent me a link today. And I had the chance to listen to your stuff there. And dude, you're bringing it.
Appreciate
He does
it, guys.
every show. Man.
Yeah, that is awesome. I will be a regular.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you
Yep.
very much for having me as per usual there, Rick.
Yep. Thanks for being here, and hopefully we will see you on Tuesday night.
Hopefully. We'll see what
All right.
happens.
Yep. Take care.
Bruce.
All right. Anybody else who we got here that wants to talk about where to find you?
I'm
I'll be here on.
See you later, Mike.
Tuesday.
See you guys.
You'll be here Tuesday?
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
and
for
Sunday.
sure.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Matt. I'll see you then. Did I
Alrighty,
just...
bye.
Bye. I think I may have just accidentally booted Johnny. Steven, where do they find you?
And you can find me, thanks Rick, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. I absolutely love this show. It's fantastic, and I will be back on Tuesday.
Thank you. Please share. Please like. Please do all of that. Please get people to make comments. I want to hear from people in the chat room. I really do. I want to hear more from you guys in the chat room. That's something that's important to me. So please, guys, make comments. It's important to the show. It's important to me. I like to see what you guys are doing. Thanks, Steven. But so you guys there that are in the chat, I do seriously appreciate you guys. Me, Sador, I really want to get you on the show here one of these times. Big time I do. So, please make yourself available at some point. And David Moser, yeah, man, you guys are regulars. You're awesome. It means a world to me that I look there and I see you guys every show, and that means a ton to me. Christopher Cole means a ton. Cornell Bonaparte. Great name, by the way. Go Bucs. You are right, my friend. Absolutely go Bucs. To everybody here in the chat, David Sorlis, again, thank you for being back. My friend, Glenn Moore. All of you, oh boy, I'm not even going to try and... Yes, I'm going to give this a shot. Romeo Rodrigo Q Saboya. I'm sure I just completely butchered your name. My apologies, but I wanted you to know much respect for coming and watching the show. No, none, whatever that is. Thank you. I'm not sure who you are, but thank you. No, none. Kula Ellison. Thank you for being here. Sorry if I said your name wrong. All of you guys, thank you so much. You mean the world to me. Jeremiah Hafner. The guys who were on the show tonight, thank you. Franklin, Eric Marino, thanks for coming on the show. Johnny Dean, as always, thank you for coming on the show. You guys get great information from him. It's Johnny's got he's got a world of knowledge. He's a great resource for you to get information from. I wish he had not hopped off that quick. So he could talk to you about where to find him and all of that, because he would be far better at that than I am. And Andrew Faubert with North Sports Dynasty. Matt and Mike, thank you for being here as always. Stephen Glasker, thank you for being here as always. You guys all make the show. I'm one of you, and all of you, even you in chat, I am one of you. It was not that long ago. I was one of you in chat. So that's very, very important. That's right. What's happening in sports and entertainment? That's the name of Johnny Dean's thing. Thank you, Misador. I was having a brain lock moment. And but seriously, guys, please be here Tuesday night. Please be a part of this show regularly. Interact more. That's important to me. And I love you guys. Thanks for being around. Go freaking Bucs. Let's have a great year. There's so much to be excited about. I can't even believe it. Coming next week, right back here. Had to leave you with that. Have a great night, guys. Take care.